Hello and welcome to GoDigiscoping with me, Simon Brumby. So August has passed us by and we're now firmly embedded into September. September is the time of year when quite a lot of people will be thinking about putting things together for the Digiscoper of the Year contest, and perhaps that's something you've also considered. If you haven't and you're thinking about maybe submitting some pieces, our following guest has maybe a few tips on what you might want to consider. So yeah, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you Tara Tanaka.
My name is Tara Tanaka, and I have been Digiscoping for 6 years this February 1st, and I have just enjoyed it probably more than anything in my whole entire life. My husband and I live on a 45-acre cypress swamp, and I was never there during the day. I never saw it the weeks I was working, and then on the weekends we were gone, and then I retired in 2008. And so I was home during the day and I saw all the beauty of the birds out there, and I just wanted to record that and be able to share it with people. So I had seen somebody digiscoping before, and I thought that that would be a good way to try. It seemed like it wouldn't be too expensive, and that's how I got started. I think when I started, I just loved it from the beginning. There was no stopping me, and I started with a $600 scope. And I just wanted to get better, and I saw other people's work that was really good, and I realized that my work wasn't that good, and so it was just a continuum of trying to improve, and it's really been that way for the last 6 years. I got my inspiration from other people, and I think the Digiscoper of the Year contest was actually a big inspiration for me in the beginning. I entered in the first year and won a pair of binoculars. There were 3 contests in the US. It was back when the economy was better. And there were 3 contests in the US that year. And so, I won a little prize, and that sort of got me fired up. And I just worked harder and harder the next year. I didn't win anything, didn't place in the top 20, made me work harder. So, I think that even though the work that I did and the pictures that I got to me were much more important than a contest, I think that did drive me a lot to improve. Initially, I chose Digiscoping because when I saw the system, it just struck me as such an elegantly simple solution, a way to take pictures. And I thought that I would be able to get a system that wasn't terribly expensive and still get the distance that I wanted out in our swamp. But the more I used it, I liked the manual control. I liked the manual focusing. I liked just having complete control and using it in a relatively simple way. And then I was exploring what you could do with the system, all the different ways that you could use this system and how you could make the best use of it. And I never wanted a DSLR. And then I realized that not having a mirror was really an advantage. So the more I've used it, the more I've come to appreciate it and appreciate the control. And more of the Digiscoping world is moving in the direction of a mirrorless camera, where I started with one 5 months after I started. So I think it's just been, for me, the perfect solution. I like big birds. I like birds that move a lot, action birds. And I've really gotten to appreciate the cranes, the egrets, the herons, birds that I can relate to a lot. The other day we were shooting some sandhill cranes, and we were getting ahead of them as they walked towards us. And I had one come as close as we are and just stopped and just looked at me and stared at me, and just that moment of staring into that bird's eyes is just so meaningful, And so I guess I really enjoy the bigger birds. To me, Digiscoping is like a form of meditation. I mean, you're so in the moment. For me, there's no other thing that I could do that could put me more in the moment than Digiscoping. So it's a form of meditation. I guess if there's one thing, my goal is to get people to be able to relate to the birds. And so the pictures that I choose to publish on the web are the ones that I think people are going to make a connection with the bird in some way. You know, whether it's a family of 4 sandhill cranes coming in, whether it's a baby wood duck, just an expression on his face. But I like to shoot a variety of things. I like flight shots, action shots. I like all different kinds of photographs, but the common theme for me is to allow people to relate to the birds. A philosophy that I have is that if you're not ready to take the shot, you're going to miss it. One of the most important things is being ready. Practice at home, get good with your gear. And for me, that means sticking with the same system. I have 2 cameras and they're both GH4s. One of them is just a backup. You know, I want to be really fast with that system. I don't want to have to think about it. When I see the bird, when I'm running in front of the sandhill crane and sitting down and running again and sitting down, I don't want to have to think about what I need to do. I want to be completely focused on that bird, really understanding light and looking to see what's in your viewfinder, constantly being aware of what's in your viewfinder, seeing the shot before you take it, consciously composing it and being aware of everything that's there.
Thank you for taking the time, Tara. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and pass comments on the video, please. Until next time, good luck. Happy GoDigiscoping.